Afternoon. Now, right now, the Day 2 outlook by the Storm Prediction Center has us in that 3 out of 5, that enhanced risk for severe weather. For higher probabilities further to the south, that moderate risk, but here in Muncie and central Indiana, we are still in that 3 out of 5. Now, that's going to be damaging winds, hail, and even the possibility of an isolated spin-up tornado or two. So, velocity not showing a lot across our region here, but you can see that line of storms moving through our region started to curl up here on the western side of Indianapolis. So, going to want to be weather aware across these next few hours. Cold front begins to form along the Ozarks, moving northeast, and you start to see this big bowing line of storms moving across central Illinois, where we could see some damaging winds 60, 65, maybe even 70 miles an hour here. Into the afternoon, by mid-afternoon, 5 p.m. here, you see that snow to our northwest, rain south of I-70, and Muncie going to be right on that rain snow line, and we're going to stay there throughout the duration of the event, bringing some freezing rain impacts before we briefly transition to snow clear skies. And what those mostly clear skies are going to do is kind of remove that blanket on temperatures, cooling us down and giving us that chance for widespread frost across our region. As such, the Weather Service has issued a freeze warning for the lower 2/3 of our viewing area, with those sub-freezing temperatures as low as 27 degrees expected. You still see that cold front really playing its role in our temperatures. 85 in DFW today, 78 in Cincinnati, 60 in Kansas City, but look at all of these 70s and maybe even a few 80s across most of the eastern United States. You're headed out here. It's going to be another cold night across our region here, but one of the last cold nights we're going to see for quite a while here. Mostly cloudy with a low of 39 degrees with those winds out of the east-southeast at about 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow we're going to warm up pretty quickly, but we're also going to have those rain chances. 48 at 8 a.m., 65 at noon, all the way up to 72 by 5 p.m. But look at these winds here starting to surge out of the south, 20 miles an hour at noon, all the way up to 20 miles an hour as well at 5, gusting up to 40 miles an hour. And because of that, it's going to bring that moisture and that warmer up into our region and bring us a threat for severe weather tomorrow afternoon. Now, right now, the Day 2 outlook by the Storm Prediction Center has us in that 3 out of 5, that enhanced risk for severe weather. For higher probabilities further to the south, that moderate risk, but here in Muncie and central Indiana, we are still in that 3 out of 5. Now, that's going to be damaging winds, hail, and even the possibility of an isolated spin-up tornado or two. So let's break these down into their parts here. Looking at our tornado outlook here, we have this 10% hatched area across all of east central Indiana, and what that hatching does is that's the Storm Prediction Center kind of telling us that there may be significant severe weather possible in this area. In this case, we may see a strong tornado. Now, that doesn't guarantee anything, especially here locally, but it's something to watch. A similar thing when we look here at the wind component of tomorrow's severe threat, that 45 to 60% chance of that hatched area, indicating we may see some of those severe gusts up to 75 miles an hour. So you're going to want to be weather aware tomorrow, but we're going to time it out for you right now. In the morning, 9 a.m. here Wednesday, we see that first line of storms moving across our region right along I-69 by the time we get to 9 a.m. Don't expect that to be severe, but those thunder and lightning chances are going to remain there. Afternoon, we see some cloudiness and then maybe even an hour or two of sunshine and clearing, which will set the stage for the main event, which is this line of severe storms moving through our region right around 9 p.m. tomorrow night here. We also note some of these showers out ahead of the line. Now, those storms would be more likely to spin as they're out in that open warm sector and available to much more moisture than back here on the line, which would be much more of a damaging wind and a spin-up tornado threat. Luckily, though, we're out of here by the time we get to Thursday morning, 4, 5, 6 a.m. Much cooler, calmer, and quieter weather across our region as we end up in Thursday. Even outside of those storms, though, we're still going to have wind chances across the region here. 9 a.m., those winds out of the south gusting up to about 35 miles an hour in several places, and then even up to 45 miles an hour out of the southwest by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon. So even outside of storms, winds are going to be quite gusty tomorrow as we head into Thursday, though they do calm down just a tad bit. Now, as we look at our 7-day forecast here, rain is going to be abundant throughout the next 6 or 7 days here. 61 on Thursday with that 60% chance of rain, 50 on Friday with that 40% chance of rain. Into the weekend, those rain chances still exist, but then we head into a much below average pattern as we head into next week, with sunshine reappearing by the middle of next week.